Okay, guys, so let's start reviewing second semester material. Okay, let's get going here. So one thing you may have learned in first semester, but you definitely will need to follow up in second semester is long division. Because in earlier math classes, you learned to take these polynomials and add, subtract, and multiply, right? Well, the big extra concept is dividing with them. But anyways, let's get started here. So as you can see here, I already have it set up for like in elementary school in long division format. And let's get going here. And basically what you're going to do, guys, is you look at the first term and you match it up with your divisor's first term. So what is x cubed divided by that x? Well, that would be an x squared. So I'm going to times with an x squared here, and I'm going to distribute right here, okay? And what I'm going to get is x cubed plus 4x squared. And now I'm going to do my subtraction like you did with regular long division. But remember, not only must I subtract the first term, I must subtract the second term. We call that distributive property, right? So notice right here, x cubed minus x cubed is 0x cubes. And right here, you'll notice we'll end up with minus 7x squared. And let's go ahead and bring down our negative 37x, just like you would with regular long division. And we start all over again. And what I mean by that is now we're going to look at this minus 7x squared and match it up with the first term in our divisor x again. And that would mean we'd need a negative 7x, you see. So again, we're going to distribute right here. And we're going to end up with negative 7x squared minus 28x. The key step again is when I do my subtraction here, guys, this first negative, of course, becomes a plus. This negative or minus becomes a plus as well because, again, I distribute my minus. So negative 7x squared plus 7x squared is 0 again. Right here, I got negative 37 and 28, which is a negative 9x. Let's again bring down the next term, and we're going to do it one more time. So how do I get a negative 9x? You want to match it up exactly, including the sign, is I'm going to do a negative 9 times dx to get negative 9x. Again, we're going to distribute one more time here. So negative 9x minus 36, negative 9 times 4 is negative 36. Notice when I do my minus, the negative 9 becomes a plus 9. The minus 36 becomes a plus 36. 9 minus 9 is 0. Negative 42 and 36 is negative 6. So my remainder is negative 6. So bringing it up here, I'm going to say plus negative 6 over our divisor, x plus 4. And that right there, guys, is our answer. Pause the video if you need to. Okay, let's do it one more time. Again, notice I already have my long division format set up. I'm going to start with my 8n cubed here. I'm going to times by 8n squared because that times that is 8n cubed. And let's not forget our distributive property again. So we end up with 8n cubed minus 80n squared. When I do my subtraction, this minus becomes a plus. Very important, guys. Even sometimes I get careless with a minus or negative, okay? And you make one mistake, you're totally messed up the rest of the problem. But anyways, 8 minus 8n cubed, of course, is 0. Right here, I have 80 minus 74, which is 6n squared. And what I do, of course, now is bring down my minus 68n. This time I want to match up my 6n squared. So I'm going to do a plus 6n, because plus 6n times n is 6n squared. Don't forget to distribute with the minus 10 as well. And so I end up with 6n squared minus 60n. When I subtract, That right there changes to a plus. 6 minus 6 is 0 n squared. Right here, I'm left with a negative 8n. Let's bring down my 89. And we have to do it one more time. To get my negative 8n, I'm going to need a negative 8 times the n. And don't forget negative 8 times negative 10. So I end up with negative 8n plus 80. Negative, oh, when I do my minus, sorry, I got ahead of myself there a little bit. But when I do my minus here, this negative becomes a plus. This plus becomes a minus or negative. 8 minus 8 is 0. 89 minus 80 is 9. Bring up my remainder. I know I have a plus 9 over my divisor n minus 10. And that, again, is long division, guys. Now, if you keep watching this video, guys, I want to quickly show you, remind you, you could have done a similar thing using synthetic division, which, again, is another concept or skill that becomes more important second semester. We'll just take this last problem we did, and it's a good way to check your answer, by the way. So check this out. First of all, I'm going to start by just taking my coefficients. 8, negative 74. Negative 68 and 89. Leave a space underneath, make kind of like a hockey stick or bracket there. And the only trick to remember with this one really is, since we're dividing by n minus 10, what would make this 0 is positive 10. In other words, n minus 10, you'll learn, represents the root positive 10. So that's what I'm going to basically synthetic divide by. Or synthetic substitute's another name for this. I'm going to use a positive 10, again, for the n minus 10 right there. And this is basically the process. I bring down my first number, in this case 8. I times these together. That's 80. 80 minus 74 is 6. I times that with 10. I get 60. 60 minus 68 is negative 8. I times that with a 10. I get negative 80. My result is positive 9. That was our remainder, was it not? That was our remainder. And I like to refer to the rest of this right here as my guts of the problem. Notice, if I translate the guts, I have a 8n squared plus 6n minus 8. The remainder of 9 is, again, remember, over our divisor, which was n minus 10. That should be exactly what we got. 8n squared plus 6n minus 8 plus 9 over n minus 10 is exactly what we got here, 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 and here. Just want to double check real quick. Yes, sirree. And so that's how you do synthetic, guys. Now, for an extra bit of practice, why don't you try it on number 17? And that's actually what I was going to do, but I didn't want my video to last too long. But anyways, try this on number 17, guys, and make sure you get a 1, negative 7, negative 9 with a remainder of negative 6, okay? But anyways, that concludes a nice little review for second semester, guys. See you in class.